Okay. So while she's setting up, I'd like us to look at the definition of youth that a few of the speakers have mentioned today. While Dr. O. Isola was talking, I was able to jot down some things. She said, according to UNESCO, youth is defined as someone between 18 to 24. According to the African Youth Charter, it's 15 to 35. According to the Nigerian, I don't know. The Nigerian? Okay, so the Nigerian National Policy on Education is 17.8 to 35. Wow. Church. Oh, someone said according to church organizations. She said so also that in church also that it's even much more elastic now when you talk about youth in churches. This is something that we need to address. It's something that we need to look into. What parameters do we use to define what we call youth, what we call education? Once we get that right, we'll start to go further on the journey to redefining education in this country. For me, like she said, there's a 15-year gap between 17 to 35. And you cannot expect the person who is 18 years to have the same concerns as the man who's 35 years. And you all lump everybody together and say the youth are the future of the country. I hope so.
Thank you everyone for coming. I recently heard a quote that I've fallen in love with, and it goes, it's by Winston Churchill, and it says, "Hear this, everyone. Young men and young women everywhere, the earth is yours and the fullness thereof. Be kind, but be fierce." I'm going to repeat that part again, because that's my favorite part. Be kind, but be fierce. You are needed now more than ever before. So take up the mantle of change. Not that change, okay? For the time is now. Winston Churchill said this over 50 years ago. Over 50 years ago. And to me, it still resonates till today. All of you teachers, all of you young people, well, we're all youth, according to our definition here. Take up that mantle of change for the sake of our children. And today we're going to be talking about changing education when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This is another quote that is a favorite of mine. It says, "There's a better way to do it, find it." And that's what we're doing today. Why are we very passionate about STEM education? We're very passionate about it because it is going to make a huge difference for the futures of our children. That's why we're here today. How many of us are concerned about the futures of our children if you have children? I hope all of us are. You should be. Because you know what? Everything in the end comes down to what? Your children. And the statistics that we have here says that those of us who have STEM degrees were less likely to experience joblessness. I can attest to that personally. 1996. You see, when you start getting on in age, you have to now start making correlation of events in your life in years. Like, okay, what year was that? In 1996, I started college in the States in 1995. So in 1996, my first summer there, I was taking AutoCAD. And the reason I took AutoCAD is because I am an engineer. I am one now. But I've always known that I was going to be one since I was 13. I made up my mind. I made that decision I was going to be one. Yes, my mom told you I hated math. It's true. So how do you go from hating math to loving engineering? We'll come to that, okay? And she's a huge part of it. I will not deny her that. Okay, so I'm taking AutoCAD because I want to be an engineer. And part of engineering is what? Design. So even if my school didn't offer it, I went to what they call a community college, and I signed up for AutoCAD, and I took this course. And let me tell you, it was hard. How many people have experience with AutoCAD? Everybody does. You've seen, what do we call those drawings that the engineers and architects give to you? That's AutoCAD. Yes, that's AutoCAD. I had to do that. And a lot of it, when I was doing it, was learning on my own. I mean, our professors, they came and they saw us through some stuff, but a lot of it I had to learn on my own. And I did it the first, because the summer school, they divided into 2 semesters, semester 1, semester 2. So I did both of them, bam, bam. And people would be like, why are you doing this now? You're a chemistry major. But you see, I knew what I wanted to be. At that time, I was a chemistry major, but I wanted to be an engineer, which means I need to have AutoCAD. So I took it. And then, that was the summer, like I said. In December, we always like to travel back to Nigeria. And my father said that year he wanted to teach us lessons about being accountable for money and managing your money. So he said, you know what, you're going to buy your own ticket yourself. I said, yeah, this man. He was teaching me a valuable lesson. He was. So here I am now, thinking, God, how am I going to raise this money? And then I went to this temp agency. I'm like, I need a job. I need to make money so I can travel to Nigeria to buy my tickets. And then like, you know what, a position just came up the other day at Lomans. They're looking for someone who's going to be able to help them to put together their floor plans. And I'm like, floor plans? Guys, what did I just mention about AutoCAD? What do we use AutoCAD for? Scaling. Putting together pieces. Guess what? Who do you think got the job? Moi! Not only did I get that job, it was the highest paying temp job that temp agency had. Isn't that wonderful? Of course it was. So guys, when we say future readiness equals to what? Economic prosperity, are we joking? No! Was make sure that she paired me up with people who were interested in what I was doing. I met a petroleum engineer when I was 14. Because I said, I want to become a chemical engineer. My mom said, do you know what it entails? Yes, I read about what they said in the library. Guess what? Does that really tell you what is involved? No. So she said, you know what, I want to go meet. And not only did she say go meet this person, she introduced me to somebody who was a woman. So that way I could have her as a role model. Then we need to also focus on training our teachers' rights in STEM, which is what we're working on today. And then continue when we go on with college. Thank you. All right. Like I said, my mom stole my thunder already, but it's okay. We still do it. STEM degrees as a proportion of all degrees. This is in China. Of all the degrees that they have there, 41% of all the university degrees are in STEM fields. Now, I want us to see this. This is not an accident. This is a direct correlation because here you have 41% of all the degrees in STEM, and what you notice, innovation, manufacturing is really high in that country. That's the correlation there. Also, look at India. India, 26% of all their degrees. By the way, this chart was recent until about 2008. So I'm sure it's a lot higher now. India, 26%, UK, 22%, Japan is 18%, 14% is Brazil, and 13% is the States. Like my mom told you, the UK and the US, they're still working on resolving their own STEM crisis. So why is it important? It's important because we need to catch up with what's happening everywhere else in the world. It really is. And I'm very unhappy about how we make science very boring for our children. And we're going to talk about that. How are we going to change that? Okay. And my mom said something earlier, and I also want to emphasize that over and over and over today. We need to start young. We need to catch them young. Actually, I'm taking my son's course. He was actually going to give you a presentation and overview of his life, all that he's been doing so far. He will still come and talk to you about that. I really believe that we have to start as young as possible. And someone earlier said that we need to stop killing their curiosity. That's a huge problem that we're having. We tell them, shut up, stop. No. Yes, it's tiresome, but you know what? Let them keep talking. Let them continue. Say yes, yes. And you know what? If it becomes too much, push them towards somebody who knows and I can help them. Because that's what I do with my son. I'm like, go to grandma. Go. So why is it important? We just talked about that before. I said it's very important for innovation. We saw with China, the percent of their STEM degrees. And beyond that, Mr. Chinaya had mentioned entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is really, really, really big. I don't understand why we don't talk about it enough in Nigeria. Small businesses are the driver of any economy. Anybody knows that. Each small business will hire. In fact, we always focus so much on those big corporations. They're good, but they don't hire as much as the small businesses. Look at it this way. I go open a restaurant today. That means I'm going to be hiring people who are cooks. I'm going to be hiring people who are going to clean. Just think about the reciprocal effect. Bam, 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 bam. We've opened so many jobs. Entrepreneurship is really important. Each person that creates a startup, particularly in STEM fields, imagine how many other people they're going to hire and bring up. Alright, so we've already gone over what does STEM mean? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. But why was it, what's the word? Created. Why was it thought of? You see, the thing is, all along we've been teaching science here, we teach mathematics here, we teach engineering over here, but they're actually married to each other. Like I tell people, mathematics is actually their mother. She is. She's their mother. And what happens to your mom? Your mom gives birth to this child, that child, but guess what? They're all related to each other. There's a connection. When we're teaching our children, we forget that connection. And that connection is important. That's what we came back to with STEM. So anytime I have a project, I'm making sure that I make that connection between each of them. I'm going to be going over examples of how you make these connections when you're teaching our students in thematic learning. It's very important. Stop teaching as if, okay, mathematics, you're here. Chemistry, you're here. Physics, you're here. No, they're related to each other. They are family. What is science? Science is studying the natural world. Technology, a lot of us have forgotten that technology really comes down to us. It's us solving our own problems. So any product that we make to solve a problem. Then engineering, I just said design. Processes that break down any problem. Okay, we have this problem. How do we go about solving it? Bam, 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 bam. I'm not going to go into engineering design process because man, we'll be here forever. Then mathematics, my baby, my love. She's the language of numbers, shapes, and quantities. Yet, we've lost so many of our students in mathematics. They are so turned off. We need to change that narrative. Okay. So STEM skills. So we need to change the narrative. Now let's talk about what STEM skills are. I'm going to spend time here because this is what you really came here about today. Mr. Chinaya mentioned creative thinking. Auntie Yinka also mentioned creative thinking. In fact, what did she say that little boy's name was? Ayodeji, right? Yes. That's creative thinking right there. Creative thinking, yes. But it's also problem solving. He said, I want to understand how this thing works. And then what did he keep doing? He kept smashing it and taking it apart. Those are STEM skills. Then, my mother mentioned teamwork. That is very big for us. That's another STEM skill that we need to emphasize more and more. Let me see. Okay, have I mentioned problem solving? Okay. Critical thinking, I've mentioned. Okay, I've not mentioned critical thinking. Yes, critical thinking is another one that is really big, and we need to spend more time on with our children on this. Critical thinking. It's very, very big. Critical thinking is, why is this way, and what's the connection over here? That's critical thinking. A to B to C to D to E. That's critical thinking. Communication is another one. In fact, I love communication because a lot of us here, in fact, Mr. Chinaya asked how many of us were science teachers, and not too many of us raised up our hands. And yet, you're here. And I'm happy you're here. No, I am. I'm happy you're here because a lot of people think after it's only science people that need STEM. One of our STEM skills is communication. We don't teach enough of that in Nigeria. Communication is very, very, very important for our children. Communication is important. They need to be able to learn how to communicate and express their ideas with other people. It's very important. So whether you are a PE teacher, you are a social studies teacher, you are, what other one am I missing? I think mentioned social studies, that's why I said social studies. English teacher, the list goes on. You need to teach communication. And then everybody knows everything about IT these days, true or false. All right? And then of course, we want to create learners that are constantly learning. Constantly. I want to walk us through how a typical interview nowadays is, so that we understand why we're emphasizing these STEM skills over and over and over and over. So you're like, why is she going on about this? I had a video clip there, but for the interest of time, I'm not going to go over it right now. I'm just going to explain what it is. You walk in to a job interview, expecting them to ask you, so what's your job? How did you do when you were in school? Not what's your job, sorry. What's your degree in? How did you do in school? Did they do 2-1 or whatever? They don't do that anymore. You know what they do now? I'm just going to pretend, okay? They'll put something like this, like a cardboard, all these disjointed pieces, until you put it together. And that's your interview right there. And you're probably looking at the interview like, are you not going to ask me, what am I skilled in? What jobs have I done before? Where are my references? They're like, no. Put that cardboard together, put everything together, and then come back to me. You're looking at them like, but that's your interview. You know why that interview is very apt? They want to see how creative you are and how do you solve problems. Because you see, you can tell me all the noise about, I got a 2-1, who cares? When you have problems in that office, I want to know that you can solve those problems. True or false? I want to know that you can do what? Solve problems. So I'm going to test you right here with that cardboard paper, you putting those pieces together to see whether you can solve problems. That's the kind of interviews your children are going to face. Your children are not going to go into a job interview and they're going to ask them, if you get a 2-1, forget that mess. It's gone. That's the job interview you're going to meet. Don't you want them to be able to excel at that? Yes, you do. You were wondering why I went over there. I went over there because I was looking for the original slides that I actually put. You know when you're rushing, you kind of mix up things. And one of the slides that I have there, that is not there, unfortunately, right now, is an explanation of blockchain technology by one young man named Brian. Yes, he's a youth. When I was in Australia with a program at MIT. Brian was trying, because they give you this assignment where you're supposed to solve a problem in the world. However you want to solve it, who cares? But you have to come together in a group of 5. And let me tell you, my group was so diverse. We had a lawyer, an IT person, me an educator, we had a civil engineer. I mean, could you imagine all these people from all these different areas coming together? And guess the kind of problem we wanted to solve? We wanted to solve a healthcare problem. So Ryan said he wanted to explain to us how we could use blockchain technology. Guys, whenever I hear blockchain, I think of what? Bitcoin. So I'm like, Bitcoin? And Ryan said, no, blockchain technology, He said, okay, come. And then Ryan starts to write everything on the board. I'm like, oh my God. So I said, Ryan, could you please explain that again? And he goes over it all over again. I really wish it were here. He goes over it all over again. And he goes over it and he goes, and I'm just getting more and more lost. Why am I saying this? I'm talking about Ryan because I was very lost. But do I want our children to be lost? No. I want them, when someone like Ryan is explaining bitcoins or blockchain, they're like, yeah, okay, I know it's going to do this, I know it's going to do that. I want them to be able to do that. Do you understand? I want them to be able to do that. That's our goal. So, we're going to get into what we're here about today, which is how do we create STEM lessons for our children. And let me tell you, this is applicable for you if you're a parent. I made sure it was something that everybody could get something out of, okay? STEM lessons focus on real-world issues and problems. I said we were solving a healthcare problem when we were together in Australia. And then the lessons are guided by engineering design process. I'm not going to go into that today. And like my mom said earlier, hands-on inquiry and exploration is very, very important. So we're going to be doing that now too. And above all things, you must do what? Put students in teams. So guess what, if you're a parent, what does this mean for teamwork? If you have 2 children, pair them up. Let them work together. Because you know what, whether you like it or not, in life, do you sit down and do a project by yourself in the office? No. You have to work with other people. If your child is the only child, then guess what? You and your child will do what? A project together. Like I said, you will see what he's going to tell you later. We used to do projects together, he and I. And remember I said each of them are related. Make sure that there's a connection with math and science in that project. Ours happen to be blockchain technology. And STEM lessons allow for multiple right answers and also change failure. One of the biggest issues I have with us, particularly how we go about education, is we are so afraid of that red X. How many of us agree with me? We are so afraid of that red X. In fact, let me tell you how afraid we are. When I first went to the States, I remember my composition teacher gave me a paper where there was a big red X across my paper, and I cried. Why did I cry? Because to us here, what does that red big X mean? You are a failure, you are done. Whereas, it is an opportunity to do what? Start over. Do it again. We need to change this. I'm serious, guys. We need to change this. We need to change that red big X. My son will tell you, yes, it's hard having your mother as a teacher, but he's lucky. I'm not the kind of person that is all about that big red X. I'm like, okay, guys, what could we have done differently here? That's what we need to start saying. So failure is what? Acceptable. Right. Okay, so we're going to now practice, because that's what we're here about. We're going to be giving you work practice sheets. But before we do that, we want to also dispel some myths that we have about STEM. I've had people calling me all the time and saying, I run a creche. I run a nursery school. Can we teach them STEM? Yes, you can. Because I believe in what? Catch them young. I don't know about you, but children are natural, curious science learners. Children just want to understand how things work. Right now in our STEM boot camp, you always see them touching. You always see them feeling. Your natural instincts like, stop it. No, that's how they understand how the world works. So it's very important. So guess what? It's not only for the older children, it's for children of all ages. And then it says, I do a lot of science, I do a lot of science experiments and hands-on activities in my classroom. So that means I am doing STEM. No. STEM is not always hands-on. STEM is that connection, that linkage. That's what it is. You're going to get this, don't worry. They're passing it around right now. The important thing is that you're solving problems in a creative way, okay? Then the last one that I hear a lot of, help me brother, let's go back. I mean, I'm sure I can remember that last one anyway, yeah? Because I hear a lot of people say that, we already have a lot of subjects already. How come I add something else now? That's too much work. We're already doing this. No, you're not. You're not doing projects yet. You're not engaging them where they're thinking like this. It is not separate. You can put it into different things. In fact, I just saw one of my darling school owners, and I remember when we had a training in her school. We made so many connections for her social studies, her home economics teachers, her English teachers. What am I missing? I mean, we went on different connections that we could make using STEM for all these different teachers. And I remember that every time I would look on Facebook and I would see her posting pictures of all these different projects that the teachers did, I would always click what? Love. Because I'd be like, wow, look at what she did. So please, dispel that. Okay, so they've handed this to you, a sample STEM lesson. It should be coming right now. Now you will notice that this STEM lesson is not even a science lesson. I hope you've noticed that. It is actually one for a lower level grade, K through 3. And the title of the lesson is What's Your Name? Has everybody gotten it or is still coming? Okay, that's it. We need to move on to the next one. But let me tell you, standards are very important because standards are a key of measurement. What is a unit standard that we use right now? Who knows a unit standard that we use for measurement? Okay, it's not length actually. I said a unit, so that should give you an idea. Metric, yes, we use the metric standard. And the metrics are what? Centimeters, meters, millimeters. That's what we use as standards to measure. When you're measuring your clothes, when you're measuring yourself, when you're measuring your house. So for you to have a standard when you're teaching, it gives you a standard of what you're teaching against. You have it now? Okay. Alright. So if we don't have, and actually we do have standards in Nigeria, we just have to go back and find them. But let me tell you something, guys. Google is your what? Best friend. Go to Google. You have a lesson, plug in that lesson there, and it will give you an idea. Just say standards. Let's say I'm teaching an English lesson. Say standards. Bam. It will give you different standards. Find one that matches with your lesson. Because that will give you an idea of what do you want to aim towards. Then, what problem are you trying to solve? Remember, STEM in the end, we're coming back to what? Solving problems. Here, the teacher said, we have spent the past week getting to know everyone in our class, but there are too many names to remember. And the teacher is always calling people by the... Uh-oh, help me please. I think it's that way. Where was it? I think it's this one. Yes, okay. And the teacher is always calling people by the wrong name. So what are they doing? Whenever we solve a problem with STEM, particularly engineering, we design a solution. So the teacher said, we need your help to remember names. Design and create a name tag for you to wear to remember your name. That's the design problem the teacher came up with for the students. Now, when you have a design problem, what's next? Rubric, criteria by which you measure that the students have met that standard. So see that. I hope you're paying attention because you're going to do this next for the practice. Oh yes, I told you you're going to do it interactive. Alright, so each name tag must have your first name reading clearly, have correct capital and lowercase letters, include at least one design or picture that tells you others about yourself, include 3 different colors, be able to stay on your body without it being held with your hands. That's the teaching criteria the teacher used for the students. Constraints, you may only use the materials provided, then the teacher tells them the materials they're going to be using for that STEM project. Guys, we're going to be creating our own lesson now. Well, I'm going to give you a project that you can do right now. Everybody here has a smartphone, correct? Yes. Oh yes, you guys are going to be able to do this project. Alright, let's go. Alright, so it's time to practice. Okay. Okay. I said I think it's the wrong one. I can tell them what we're doing next. Alright, so what I came up with was pretend that you're a rock band, you are a star in a rock band. Isn't that a wonderful fantasy? So pretend, just move away from this slide because it will annoy me. Aha. You can actually take it down for now. Or go back to the sample STEM lesson. So pretend that you are in this rock band, you are a star, you're going to be traveling through, what did I end up with? 5. You're going to be traveling through 5 different cities in at least 3 major continents. So please, I'm going to repeat that criteria now, because I said we picked up the wrong slide, or wrong, okay? So number 1, you're a rock star in a rock band. You're going to be traveling to 5 different cities through 3 different continents. You're going to be making a lesson plan around this, so I hope you know. Don't worry, we're going to give you blank lesson plans soon. Okay, now, so what you're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about transportation. How are you going to get around to those different cities? That's 1. Cost, everybody knows what relationship cost has in STEM, right? Cost is what of the letters in STEM. Cost. Ma, that's M. what? That's both science and engineering. Okay. Okay. So, let's give them the lesson plans so that I can tell them what's next. 5 cities. You are traveling within 3 continents. And then when you keep touring and you keep singing, what do you do after that? In the night, what do you have to do? You have to sleep. So you're also going to come up with hotels in those 5 cities. Costs for those hotels. Then later on, you can even make it harder for your students by putting budget constraints. Okay, so now you should have that lesson, sample lesson in front of you, the sample STEM lesson. Let me walk you through what you need to do. You don't have it yet. Give me a sec. Okay, bingo, there you go. So in the sample lesson, it says subject. What subject do you think this is? When I just talked about transportation and you're going to pretend you're in the rock band. This actually could be a social studies lesson, actually. It could also be an English lesson, project that teacher did. It could be anything. So that one actually could be anything there. Then the grade level. This can be adapted to how many different grade levels? Various grade levels. Depends on how hard and easy you make it, right? The standard, you go online and look for the standard yourself. I'm not going to do all the work. Then background and problem, I want you to brainstorm about it. I'm going to be pointing at some people to answer and give me an idea of what they think the problem is. Alright, so design challenge. What is this challenge? What are you trying to solve? What are you trying to solve in this lesson? I heard somebody say the magic word, but you can't say that word for children. There's an easier word we use for children when it comes to something like this. Let me say the word the person said. The person said logistic problems. No. I don't say logistic problems with children. Of course not. What are you trying to solve when you're talking about this with the children? You're preparing a vacation, you're preparing a trip. That's what it is. Make it simple. Keep it simple. That's what you should do for the children. Always keep it simple. Alright, so criteria. Who is the boss? You are the boss. You are in charge. You decide what criteria you want for the children. I know if I was making this lesson, I know what my criteria would be. Constraints, you can come up with that too. Alright, materials. I just mentioned about costs. And whenever we talk about costs, what is the one thing we always use in math when we talk about costs? This is where I will know my math teachers now. When we talk about costs, what is the one tool we use a lot in math? Hey, nobody's saying that. So I don't have math teachers here.
It's money.
No. There's a tool we use when we're talking about costs. Wow. You're traveling now. It's money, it's cost. You're going from city to city. How are you going to compare the costs? Wow. How do you compare costs in mathematics? How do you compare things in math? Graphs, people. Graphs. Oh, you're bringing the graph paper. You're doing everything today. Look, I'm giving you a breakdown. It doesn't mean you're going to finish everything right now, but do you now have an idea of how you can set this up for your children? Yes! No, I'm serious. Haven't I given you an idea how you can set this up? I am. It doesn't get any more hands-on than this. Trust me. Or your graph paper, let them get into it. They're going to sweat like their children today. Alright, in mathematics, we use graphs as a tool to do what? Compare. You're going from this city to this city. How are you going to compare the cost? Graphs. And what kind of graphs do we have? Tell me the kind of graphs we have. Bar charts. What else? Pie charts. What else? Line graphs. Hello. Histograms. Have you guys seen where we're going now? Have you seen how rich this is going to be with the children now? Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, I've lost my own lesson. Don't worry, I see you want to run away from work. Alright, so materials. What materials do you think you're going to need for a lesson like this with the children? Yes, write them down. Don't tell me, write them down. Let me give you time. I'm not going to say anything now. Just talk among yourselves and start working. Professor, she's working on it. So, come on, work. Okay. Do we really have any math teachers here? I don't think we do. But when I say comparison of course, a math teacher would have screamed, graphs! So I'm not very happy about that. We should have more math teachers in this world. Okay. Remember I said I'm going to put some of you on the spot? Guess what? I'm coming around. Yes, so I'm coming around. I'll select you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're already looking at me. Can you give me something? So you're going to teach your students how to set up a table. And on that table, when you're going from city to city, I wrote airline here. It doesn't have to necessarily be an airline. They can go by bus. In fact, a lot of rock bands in the US, when they're going from city to city, what do? They go by bus. So you can scratch out and write bus. So airline cost, their hotel name cost. Do you see that? It's coming, it's coming. The science part of the project is find 5 fun facts about transportation. Research is a very important part of STEM. So you have to make sure that you incorporate research as much as possible when you're giving them lessons. I'm serious. It is very, in fact, if my mother were here, she would tell you that anytime you're solving a problem, what's the first thing you have to do? Research, get information. Anytime I go to ask her a question, the first thing she does is, what information do you have about that? That's the first question my mother always asks. So it's coming to you, science. Then technology. Because remember, this is a STEM lesson. Name 3 major improvements in transportation that has taken place within the last 50 years. Name 2 major disruptions. Now, if you're dealing with the younger ages, you don't use that word disruption, just say changes, okay? Name 2 major disruptions that could transform transportation. So this is also coming too. Remember STEM, we have to talk about technology, we have to talk about science. Yes, it's another one, it's coming. Alright, so that's coming. See, I'm giving some of you free expo. Some people will go back on Monday and go and use this my lesson now. Abi, am I, is it not true? It's true. Guess what? In between doing all this, you set up a major project for these children. This can take at least 2 to 3 days putting this together. And they'll be so excited because there's nothing children like more to talk about than what? Vacation. You adults like to talk about vacation anyway. Alright, so I'm just going to point at some random people to mention criteria for us. Criteria, right? What was the other thing? Criteria and constraints. Just 2 random people I'm going to point out for criteria and constraints so that we can move along. The reason I made all these copies so that you can go back and create lessons from this. I'm giving you guided practice. We all know what guided practice is, right? All right. Some people are asking, I don't understand. That's good. That's a good sign. Oh, you want to answer us? All right, fantastic. She's going to give us criteria.
Constraints.
One of the constraints would be the means of exchange for the money across different cities.
Okay, very good exchange rates. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay.
Criteria, constraints.
Language also.
Thank you, sir.
Someone said it.
Constraints will be the accessibility of the areas. And when you talk about the topology of an environment to the other, so that you'll be able to access the other area, that is accessibility. Talking about the criteria involved, but you need to also look through the latitudes of the location. You know, the timing differs from one region to the other. So it's one of the criteria that must be put in place to really know if by 6 o'clock at this place, be able to get to the other place before it is late. Then you also look at the problem associated to traveling at the other city. Like if you are traveling, let's just take within Nigeria environment. You are traveling from Lagos here, and you are going somewhere in Oshodi. You know, the conditions of traffic are not the same. So you consider that as a criteria to people in the cities to link together. Then another thing you also look at in the criteria is you need to first of all identify with every factors in place the cities to be visited to get your lesson. Thank you
So much. Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, so moving along, you will teach your students to do research for the science part of it and also the technology. And let me tell you the beautiful thing. A lot of your children are already natural researchers. They go online and they use Google even more than you. Okay? But the thing now is, this is where you come in handy. It's not everything that is on Google that is true. So you have to teach them how to discern between what is fact and what is fiction. Okay? Alright, so we've done setting up the sample STEM lesson. We've given you the graphs. Let me go over everything now so that I can make sure it's on the table. Alright, very good. So based on this, I believe that you should be able to have a better grasp on how you can go about setting up a lesson for your students. Are you going to have some questions? Of course you're going to have questions. But that's where you come to people like me and other people who are experienced. Because a lot of your teachers who have been teaching for over 15 years, trust me, they'll have good ideas, particularly your math teachers. They'll have a good idea of how to go about working this out for the children. But remember, in the end, it's really about the children when you're doing this activity. So you have to put them together in what? In pairs. And when I say pair, that doesn't just mean two. You can put them in 3s or 4s. I say maximum 4. Because when it becomes 5, they become a crowd. How many of us agree? 5 is a crowd. So between 3 and 4 is your sweet area. Continue. Remember, the basics of what you're trying to do is teaching them to do what? Solve problems. You need to open their eyes that every time they're looking around them, what are they seeing? Problems. You see all these people that we mentioned and we all look up to and we emulate and we speak so highly of them. What do? They solve problems. You see that problem that I said that they put us together to solve in MIT? That problem that was with blockchain, anybody who cracks that problem is going to become a billionaire. I think I should have even given you a background of the problem. Let me give you a background of it real quick. Just real quick. A lot of patients, and it's becoming a problem. In fact, it's a major problem here in Nigeria, period. A lot of patients, instead of going to go and see the doctor and go through thorough exams, so that they can tell them this is what's going on, that's what's going on. What do? They abuse medication. So what do? They doctor shop. They go from doctor to doctor to doctor. I mean, here it's easier, unfortunately, for us here because the pharmacies are open and they just sell it to you. Particularly the ones we call over-the-counter drugs. But there are certain medications that are really, really harder and cause a lot of damage to the human body. I mean, I need to think of some right now off the top of my head. Thank you. That's one of them. Antibiotics, another one. Then the pain meds. Oh yes, the pain meds, the pain medication. When I say pain medications, those ones are really, really harmful to your liver. They are so bad to your liver. Even the simple Panadol that you take, you have to be careful. They are very bad to your liver. But I remember I was very little when my mom started telling me about that. They are really, really harmful. So what were we trying to do? We're trying to mitigate patients who were going from doctor to doctor to doctor to shop. And what we found is that they're very smart. They know that doctors are bound by what? Doctor-patient confidentiality. You get what I'm saying? Privacy rights. So they're very slick. They'll go to each other doctor like, you won't find out. But we're trying to find out how do we circumvent that so that this doctor will see this red flag that this patient likes to go around the world. So that was where our colleague Brian was now showing us that whole blockchain thing that will show us yes and no for some people. But the thing that kept on being like an obstacle for us was this privacy rights. But you know what? I know that eventually somebody is going to solve this problem. You know why? It's a budgeting problem over there. These are countries that they run on what do we call it, kind of like welfare states, where the government is the one that funds the healthcare system. So the budget is just exploding because these people are abusing the system. In fact, they were telling us that one man, he was so good at this, he had been in the hospital 8 different times. And they say each time that this man will come in and sleep on the hospital bed, it costs the state 20,000 Australian dollars. 20,000. Don't you think they're going to want to solve that problem? Yes. And whoever solves that problem, will that person make a lot of money? Yes. We couldn't solve it because we only had 2 weeks. But we tried. We did. But the point is, we need to start teaching our children to see opportunities around it. Earlier on, Mama Ajayi, the lady who came from Silicon Valley, and the professor from Stanford, why are they so excited about us? Yes, I know, we're going to be wrapping up. Why are they so excited about us? Why are they so excited about Nigeria? They are very busy, by the way. We waylaid them. They were here for something else. We were creating our stage. My friend Charles, who was here earlier on, just grabbed them and said, we're also having a STEM conference. And they hear about what? What they're working on is also STEM. So they got excited and they came. Do you know what they came for? Let me just break it down for a lot of you who were not here earlier on. There was a professor from Stanford who came in. He just dropped in and joined us. And this lady who also is a Silicon Valley CEO. They joined us earlier on. Don't worry, we're going to be putting this online later. They joined us. And they went to Computer Village and they picked 5 to 10 of our best young minds. They're going to take them back to San Jose. Yes, San Jose is Silicon Valley. You don't know, go check that out. They're going to take them back to San Jose in California in the States and train them and bring them up. They're going to be with them for at least a week or 2 weeks, giving them different ideas, coaching them, building them. Why are they doing this? Because they see opportunities here. You think they will leave their comfortable San Jose? Look guys, that place is beautiful. San Jose is gorgeous. You think they will live there and come here if they didn't see something that was attractive here? So you need to start, all of you teachers, all of you parents, you need to start teaching your children to open their eyes to these opportunities. You might not see the value of those people, me I do. I see the value of those Computer Village guys. My son, when he was younger, had, what's that one that the children were so crazy about earlier on? DSI. Oh my God. He would be playing on it over and over and you keep spoiling it. So that's how, in fact, that was my first introduction to Computer Village. I took it there to fix it. And this boy, they were calling him, engineer, come and fix this. And you know what I said to myself? I said, yes, this boy is truly deserving of that title, engineer. You know why? He took that thing apart, piece by piece. No, guys, until you see somebody open a computer or something that has a lot of microcircuits and everything, that's when you're bored. That's when you really understand how minute and how much work it takes. This young man did that. And he was able to piece it back together, and guess what? It worked. This guy can tell you that thing worked. He played with it and played with it and played with it. That's what that professor, that mama, they came back here to come and pull out from here in Nigeria. They're taking it over there. They're going to groom it and bring it back here. Do you now understand what you have in front of you? You have children like that in your classes. Some of them might not be in the big private schools, some of them, but they still have those minds. Encourage them. Teach them that yes, it's okay to break apart those things. It's okay to want to understand how this thing works. And tell them, you know what, tomorrow you are going to be who? Bill Gates. Tomorrow you are going to be Mark Zuckerberg. You know, Mark Zuckerberg actually started in the back of the room when Bill Gates was talking in Harvard. And somebody touched him and said, you can be like that guy one day. And guess what? Has he not surpassed him? Yes. So when they are going to take those young people from Computer Village, take them to San Jose, groom them, mentor them, and bring them back, we're going to have what? Amazing rock stars. Amazing, I call them STEM warriors. All of you need to start creating that for our children. You need to start encouraging them and telling them that they can do this, and they have it here. That is not impossible, it's not just on TV. You need to connect them to people who are going to build them up. You need to start creating lessons like this that make connections and make them see problems. Yes, it's a little bit more involved, but guess what? It's worth it. So that's my charge to you as I'm leaving now. Start making these connections in your lessons. If you're a parent, please also make connections with your children. It's very easy. Google is your what? Best friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tola, for taking us back to class. While the sheets were being shared, I saw some people squeezing their faces. What's why like this one? I didn't sign up for this. But the truth of the matter is, if you, as an educator, if you do not know how to go through this, if you do not go through this process, how will you impart that to your kids? True or false? True. So, for those of you who didn't touch it at all, at least you have the papers. Take it to your schools, find a way to adapt it to fit into your own system, and voila, you have a STEM lesson that you can use. We'll not be wasting too much time again, because I see that time is fast spent, and a lot of people want to go home. People are coming from different places. We'll have 2 or 3 exhibitors present to us for just 3 minutes each. So that will be a total of 6 minutes, 3 minutes each. And we'll have our last address by Mrs. Folashade Adefisado, and we'll be running up today's event. So first, I'll call on FlexiServe. Please, FlexiServe, are you ready? Yes. For those of you who didn't get the papers, I'm told that it's supposed to have 7 sheets each. So if you don't have 7, please meet them at the stand there. They can help you get 1 or 2. Or if you don't have that stand, collaborate with someone sitting next to you. That's why you're here. Network and get someone. If FlexiServe is not ready, is EdVest ready? EdVest, FlexiServe, EdVest, so that we can quickly wrap this up. Okay, we have the FlexiServe representative coming up.
Thanks for the long talk. We've been here all day, so I'm just going to skim through it. My name is Richard Waniri. I'm with FlexiServe Edusoft Limited. We are a software company that is focused on education. Now, what we do is to provide solutions to schools and stakeholders in schools to help automate their process, make their work less cumbersome, and at the same time impact education in a positive way. Now, any opportunity we get like this to come and preach the gospel according to education technology, we seize it, and then we try to enforce the need to transform how we do what we do already, do it in a better way, in a more efficient way. One of the problems we see in Nigeria is records. As a school, you're sitting on a mine of records, okay? And you probably do not know, but those records you have, they serve a purpose. There's a reason why today the richest companies are companies that deal with data. They've overtaken oil and gas companies. I mean, Google, Facebook have more money than ExxonMobil and Shell. It's because data is the new oil. You are a school, you have records. You should keep your records properly. Use your records to affect how you run your school, to influence the decisions you make. And you can't do that using MS Word or Excel on your computer. You need a system that actually works for you. Now, if at any point you feel the need to try out a demo, see how it works, see if it suits what you do, either as a teacher or a school owner, or you're related to someone that owns a school, please, you can visit our website. I'm sure you probably have our marketing material with you. Look through. There's a free demo. You can actually start for free. These are tools we have to make life easier for us and for you. And like you said, you've all been very awesome today. You've been patient. Thank you very much for your time, and have a nice day.
Okay, Auntie.
I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm really happy that the people from Stanford are here, because they have said that where we stop today, they are going to take over, and so STEM is going all places.
Make it possible.
Just as the one who introduced me said, my children recited the pledge when they were in Ghana. They recited the oath of allegiance in the United States. Then they asked me, in Nigeria we never recited the pledge, and I said Nigeria didn't have any. So they took me to class and said, Mommy, why don't you write one? That's how I wrote one. And because the then head of state and my husband are classmates, a friend of ours who is also a classmate gave it to the then head of state, General Olusegun Obasanjo, who was the head of state then. So he decreed in 1976 that all school children should recite the pledge and salute the flag.
Your name, please.
My name is Felicia Adepola Adeyoyin. If you look at it if you Google me, they put Adedoyin.
Okay.
That is wrong.
It's Adeyoyin.
It's Adeyoyin, not Adedoyin.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Has been marked present. If they are absent, they also get that update. That's on daily attendance. Can we move on lesson notes? I would like to get everybody's attention on this. We've done a very special research on lesson notes. We understand that teachers have issues designing their lesson plan, or they are just too busy, and a lot of time you might not get the best out of teachers because they are busy handling a lot of it. And we understand that it requires a lot of focus for you to even design a good lesson plan that can really be effective for your job. So we've integrated an algorithm on our portal to help teachers design their lesson plan. The algorithm is linked with Google. The moment you are about to prepare your lesson plan, please can you go back to the lesson plan? The moment you're about to prepare your lesson plan, all you need to do is input the subject you're handling, input the topic. The moment you input the topic, the system will automatically generate over 200 researches that other teachers from all around the world have done on that particular topic, thereby providing you materials, resources for you to even, just sort of and use as tools to also design your own lesson plan. And please go ahead. Next after that. We also have available the online admission for people who are interested in joining your school from any part of the state where you're operating from. They don't necessarily need to walk down to your school gate and make these inquiries. They can make inquiries online about your school. They can go ahead to even register their child on their own. They can go ahead to unpick whatever materials they need to pick for that child right from the comfort of their home, from the comfort of their offices. They can also proceed to paying for the child's school fees without necessarily meeting with anybody in the school. They can go ahead and do all this. The only time they might need to come to the school is just to bring the child to the school to resume classes. That's also one of our features. And we also have an app for parents like WhatsApp on our portal, where parents can easily pay school fees. They can easily see the code of bill that has been sent by the school to them. They can easily unpick which particular ones are they paying for at that moment and still proceed to payment from the comfort of their homes or their offices without going through the stress of going to the bank and queuing and all that. So you are even saving the parents a whole lot of stress. There's also a platform for interaction between the teacher and the parent at home. We have communication book incorporated on our portal. We have online assignments, thereby facilitating parent-teacher interaction. We have that also available on our portal. This is a typical sample of the mobile app where parents can check results. You can check results. You can also pay fees. And this is a typical example of one of the online assignments, because you can attach file also. You can attach audio file. Should in case the teacher sends an assignment that has to do with audio recording, video recording, or maybe another type of file, it is also allowed. These are some of the schools. Currently, we have over 350 schools in 16 states in Nigeria, and we are still moving up. We are very much open to welcome as many schools as possible on board. Our solution is about the 21st century solution that you need for your school. Thank you for your time. God bless.
Thank you, Edvest, for spending more than 3 minutes. He wants to say one more thing. Should we allow him?
Thank you. Please, should in case you want to find out more, some of my colleagues are still around passing out booklets and flyers. You can always register.
I'm going to send everything to you. Thank you very much for that long presentation. I hope, please do patronize them. Please do patronize them. So now our final speaker is around. But before we have our final speaker and wrap up for today, would like to hear a few words from one of our participants or someone who has benefited from STEM. I'd like to call on William, please. Come. Please encourage him. This is big. This is a big deal for me.
Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about some of the importance of STEM. Personally, STEM is something I've had for my entire life. Since I was born, I've been doing hands-on learning, going to museums, going on history walks, things like that, and it really helps me. Learning when you're doing things hands-on is really easy. Whenever I have college biology, so what I always do, I always get a diagram, like a figure I can hold to study for it, which makes it much, much easier. Let's say I'm studying cells, which is a very hard topic for me. What I'll do is that I'll get the object, the 3D object, I'll hold it, I'll look at the parts, and I'll memorize it, which is much easier than looking at a textbook. I need to go from page to page, looking for what you want to do. Another thing I've also done is encouraging creative thinking. Creative thinking is really helpful because even if you might not study for something, you can use logic to connect something and something else, which really helps me during my tests and studying. It can be applied for other passions of life. Another thing I want to talk about that's for STEM is encouraging your children or students to choose multiple parts of doing a question. Let's say you have, how can you solve the bridge? The bridge is broken. I want to use materials that are cheap to do it. What are you going to use? Are you going to use plastic? Are you going to use steel? Are you going to use platinum? What is expensive? What is cheap? And how are you going to tell your children to do it? One last thing I want to say, but it's universal to everything, is that you should always have an open mind and be willing to try new options. You never know what will work best for you until you try it. Thank you.
Thank you. More than the class presentation. And I think you did quite well. That's what was really. Thank you so much. Just before I forget, at the USAFE stand, there's a teacher planner there that you can actually access. So USAFE people, please go around with the teacher planner. It's for teachers actually. It helps you plan your lessons and it helps you actually plan your schedule for the whole term. Yes. We'll have a couple of words from Tola also before our last speaker comes, because this is actually the final leg of the event. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience having you all here. Thank you for bearing with us, even though we didn't start. We started a little bit behind schedule, and we're actually ending a little bit later than we expected. But it's been a wonderful experience so far. It's been a rewarding experience. I'm sure you've learned so much today that you will take home and you'll be able to use in your various spheres of influence.
All right, while we are waiting for one of our speakers, I just want to run through what we're about. Charisma for You is a social innovation enterprise. And what one word that encapsulates everything that we're doing and we're working on in Nigeria is this word, future readiness. When I was speaking to you, I hinted at it, but I did not get there. So I said, you know what, I must make sure that I hammer on it. Everything that you're doing for our children, everything that we're doing in the classroom comes down to what? Their futures. Whether or not they decide they're going to be having a job or they're going to be business people, it still has to do with their futures. So that's what we're about. All right, so I already introduced who we are. Move on. Okay, so why did we establish this? We established this because the way our teachers are being trained, unfortunately, is not up to where it should be. So we're here so that we can help you to equip, that's the word, equip you, and also to help our students who are disinterested. Because a lot of our students have turned off science and math. So we need to bring them back. So 3 years ago, we formed this. All right. I'm going to be giving out flyers concerning this. We created an app that has over 10 of my books that I've written that have to do with STEM education. Yes. I took after my parents. So, what are future readiness in education? It's not, I'll call it more like a mini book. It's about my vision about what we should do. It's actually there in the back. What we should do to make our students future ready. And then as well as other hands-on activities books and guidebooks for project learning. Project-based learning. Projects, PBL, project-based learning. All right, so these are all the books. I'm not going to waste our time going through all of them. Go ahead. Hello? Go ahead. All right, so what? No, back. So what is the center point of all that we're going to do? The center point of all that we're trying to do is how do we get our students to be able to compete with their counterparts in India and China? This is very, very important. You guys are always focusing on the UK and the US. They are your competition, but they are not your main competition. Your main competition is in China and in India. Because right now in India, all your phones are all being programmed where? In India. All your phones are being manufactured where? In China. That's your competition. That's who you need to focus on. How do we meet that challenge? It's not that we're not brilliant, we're brilliant. But this is where they surpass us. They surpass us in that they make that connection between the learning and application. That's the difference. So we need to do that. All right, next. So this is where we came up with our STEM bootcamp. We just had it, well, we're finishing next week, and we've been working with our children. And let me say, I'm not very pleased with how we don't understand how important this is for us. My mom had insinuated about this earlier when she was speaking, and she's absolutely correct. It's a serious, serious crisis. You are going to have jobs, highly skilled STEM jobs, that none of our children, unfortunately, will be able to work at. So they'll keep on importing, because I'm sorry that's the word I will call it. We'll keep on importing people from everywhere else to come do those jobs. And guess what will happen to those jobs? Those jobs will be highly paid, highly respected, highly revered, but your children won't have access to them. Is that what we want? No. And that's why we created this boot camp where we're teaching our children coding skills, we're teaching them programming skills, we're teaching them hands-on stuff with chemistry, physics, engineering. My son just spoke to you about the BRICS challenge. That was one of the challenges we did last week. We just did it last week in the STEM boot camp. So you can see that it came up in top of his head real fast. Did you notice that? Why? Because he just did it. Did he have to really think about it? No. He just came. Why? Because he did it with his hands. Do you understand what I mean? I don't have pictures of it, but I don't know if the pictures are here. They actually created the bridges. They did. And like my mom said, we didn't go and start looking for expensive materials. We use ready source materials that you can see all the time. We use them. Alright, next. So what is our goal with the STEM Bootcamp? Is to trigger our students' passion and to empower our students to participate and engage in STEM. Next. So, we're going to be having this bootcamp. Okay, we're going to be having this bigger bootcamp in August. And our goal is to hit at least 100 children. And then, you know what, right here today, I just met someone else who also wants me to partner with her so that we can hit even more children than that. So I'm praying that we're going to be able to make that happen for our children. I'm serious, it's very big. And these are the things that we're going to be doing with the children, learning how to carry out PBL activities, coding, having professionals come to talk to them, working on drones, as well as other stuff. Like I said, it's going to be in August, and our target is 100 children, and 3 weeks, and ages 6 to 16. All right? And now, this is the beauty. Like I said, earlier this year, I went to Australia, and part of what I was working on there was I was working in partnership and collaboration with MIT. Now, whenever we talk about science and technology, we talk about there are certain universities, maybe you mentioned their name, science and technology. That professor who was here earlier, Stanford, that's one of them. Another university that everybody knows is MIT. And I was very blessed, I use that word blessed because I know it's not a small privilege, to be working with them in February. And that's me with some of let me see, how stable is this? Whoa. That's me with some of our professors. There we go. There at MIT, that's me. The color is not so good. And what we're doing is that we've spoken to them, and our aim is to at least, and notice I said at least, which means minimum, to have one of these MIT fellows to come here and work with us with our children. Even if it's just 1 week, so that our children can understand the importance of what this is, how it translates all over the world. People who are really, really immersed in this will come and talk to them and work with them. I don't know about you, but if I had somebody like that talk to me when I was a child, maybe I'll be Bill Gates now. I'm just making a joke, but you get the point. It's going to be huge. So we're working on that right now. And we need everybody's support. You might think that you don't have anything, but you'll be surprised. You might know somebody who is really interested in working on collaborating or contributing for something like this. Please connect us to those kind of people so that we can make a difference for our children. Let me tell you why each of us actually can contribute things beyond what you can imagine. You see this young lady here? Her name, let me leave her name anonymous because she might not want me to say her name. She lives in the US, she lives in the Big West. We connected on LinkedIn because she loves what we're doing. And then she said, 2 weeks ago, she said, Auntie, I'm going to be visiting Nigeria to see my parents. I want to bring something for your children for the STEM Bootcamp. This young lady brought, actually, my is not here. I will have shown you what she brought. I can't even, okay. Could you bring that automobile? Hello? What the young lady brought for us, bring it, let me show them quickly, please. Fast, fast, fast. Because I need them to see. They say there's nothing like actually seeing. This young lady brought this all the way from the Midwest in the US for our children. Wow! For our children. I don't know about you, but to me this is a huge sacrifice. All of us know that when you're coming to visit from America, to visit your family, you want to fill up your suitcase with as much as possible for your family, correct? Guess what? She put this inside that suitcase. So a huge part of our suitcase was dedicated to our STEM bootcamp. Imagine that. So each of you in your own little ways, you'll be surprised how you can contribute and also give back to our children. Because next week now, when we're rounding up, our children are going to use this to work. This is an automobile engineer STEM kids. They're going to work with this. They're going to pretend like they're building cars next week. They're going to have so much fun doing this. These wonderful children, you can see their faces, they're happy. They're going to have so much fun doing that. So please, think about this, in what ways you can contribute to programs like ours. Because I know we're not the only programs that do this. This is the only way we can make a difference here in Nigeria. Thank you.
I advise you to please go online, just Google that name, Folashade Adefisayo, and you'll be out at what you see. Please, Mr. Folashade Adefisayo, please make a round of applause as you walk on the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be with all of you, and it's great to be part of this. This is the future of Nigeria. She has asked me to come and talk about my experience as an educationist, my experience in the curriculum, with managing Nigeria's curriculum. Now, I'll ask you, what is the point? What is a curriculum? What is a curriculum? Any teachers in the house? Somebody willing to stand up and tell us the answer. What is a curriculum? Isn't it the entirety of the... Yes, please. I thought you were... Yes, please.
We have someone there.
Thank you. No, that is actually the scheme of work. The scheme. The curriculum is the entirety, the total educational experience that the child is going to have in the school. It's way beyond the subject. So let me tell you 4 things that should actually be in any good curriculum. First of all, it should be values driven. It should reflect the values of the community, the values of the country. And what are our values as a people? I think we have certain values. So our curriculum should teach our children those values. The second thing the curriculum should teach is, of course, knowledge. We have to look at the various bodies of knowledge that exist, and we should teach our children knowledge. Then we have to teach our children skills, because our children need skills. Let them go on. Skills in order to be successful. I'm still going to ask us what we think those skills are. And finally, we have to teach in context. So when we say in context, we have to let a Nigerian child know that they are Nigerians. I personally have no interest in living in any other country. I'm going to live here. And so, this country has to be good. Because who's going to be working when someone like me, when I get to extreme old age and can no longer work? Is it not these young people? They better believe in the country. But of course, you cannot force people to believe in a country. Respect is earned, affection is earned. Affection cannot be forced upon you. So to a large extent, I understand that society has indeed failed the next generation in a lot of ways, and maybe they would not be able to automatically love their country the way we want them to love it. But you can tell them a lot of things. You can teach them. So when we talk about all these things, what we are saying is that curriculum is not just physics, blah, 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 technology, blah, 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 blah. It's the entirety of the experiences that the child will get. And that is why, for me, STEM is exciting. Because it says STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It is teaching the second thing I mentioned there, and that is skills. So that when children leave us, when they go out into the world, nobody is going. Look, let me tell you, it gets to a stage where your knowledge base will become unimportant or obsolete. You are not going to get to the workplace and be talking about physics. Maybe you did physics and so on in school, then you get to the workplace, it may not even be about physics at all. But you must have certain skills, the skills of collaboration, teamwork, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, digital literacy, personal leadership, resilience, ability to face failure and rise from it, grit, strength, creativity, passion, and so on. Patriotism, all these things come from the curriculum. And they are not subjects in a number of ways. You don't need to teach a child, you don't need to come to school and say, okay, today is creativity. you are going to teach it in such a way that, the child is able, you are supposed to integrate all these across all subjects. Let me give you an example. I studied the Nigerian biology curriculum and the British curriculum in biology, biology in both curricula. Biology is biology, right? They're talking about respiratory system, circulatory system, and so it's the same. But there is a big difference between the Nigerian curriculum and the British curriculum in some ways. First of all, is the fact that the Nigerian curriculum had too much. There were too many topics, and anytime there's a problem in the country, we add one, HIV/AIDS. Look, if you teach your children to be creative collaborators, they will understand that pandemics will come and go, but you have given them the skills to manage pandemics. Doctors can treat AIDS, but the management of a pandemic is a skill that you can teach your children through project-based learning. So when I looked at both, so much there, too many topics. Do you know that in nursery school they are doing drug abuse? There's drug abuse in the nursery curriculum. Okay, what does a 3-year-old know about drug abuse? What are you teaching a 3-year-old drug abuse? Is that not CMI? Too much information? Too early. For a child who is not yet able to think, tell me everyone that drug things, what is it? And you know the curiosity of the child, who knows? As I want to see it, I want to know it, they are just talking about it. So that's the one, there's too much, too many topics. The second thing is, the way we assess learning dumps down our children. Let me give you an example. I had my youngest daughter, very clever girl. She was always top in class. She was always, she was so sure that on prize giving day she'll be climbing the stage. She used to sit near there so that she'll just stand to one side. When they say physics, she'll come up. When they say this, and of course, me, the mother, I was always, happy. Then she was going to do GSSC, and we were studying together at home. And there was one question that said, at what age do you enter secondary school? Oh, she said the answer is 12. I said, what age were you when you enter secondary school? It has nothing to do with it, mommy. The textbook says 12. So that is has nothing to do with me. It's a textbook, meaning she had crammed and was just going to work. But let me ask you, it was an OBJ question. And the options range from 9 to 16. Tell me which one is wrong. Don't some children enter at 9? And don't some enter at 16? In a good system where they really want to assess and learning has taken place, they will ask you why there is such a disparity. Then the child will, what could cause it? Some parents force their children to go to secondary school at 9. Some it could be that the child was ill and couldn't go at the right time. Some it could be that the parents had financial difficulties. And then the child will think, isn't it, and come up with a lot of, you understand me? So our curriculum dumps down in that respect, the way we assess that learning has taken place. Needless to say, I had to move. I said, man, I don't think you are clever. I think you are a very, very good crammer. I'm telling you, she had 13 A's in that exam, but moved her away. And by the time she was done, she was no longer top in class, and she was sending SOS messages. And I was telling her, she said, I'm trying, these people are freaks. They are free to join the freaks. So we can see that our system, our curriculum as presently constituted. By the way, the curriculum has fantastic vision. If you read it, why are we training our children? We want to build a cohesive, stable, prosperous country. We want to build a robust economy. We want children who are patriotic and blah, 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 blah. It's all in our curriculum. Go and check the national policy on education, Google it and look at it, and you see that these words are there, very exciting. But it's the implementation that always worries us in Nigeria. And that is what worries me as well when I look at the curriculum. So when she said I should talk about my experience in the curriculum, that's my experience, seeing that this is not good enough for the Nigerian child. I don't care who says whatever it is they want to say. And I'm not a believer in saying, go and do British curriculum, go and do American curriculum. I'm not at all. because I feel that as a Nigerian, I would like to stay here, do this curriculum the way it should be done. Bring it up to the 21st century. Rather, because it's fossilized somewhere in, look, if you look at common entrance, Ugo see Ugo, let me tell you, I entered from one, I will tell you. I entered from one in 1969. I did this Ugo see in another format. It was called something, but it was Ugo see Ugo who took those. So I assure you that we have not moved from that time up till now. But we have to move because life changes. How many planets? When I was a child, there were 8 planets, and they included Pluto. But we have now found that we still have 8 now because another planet was discovered, but Pluto was discovered to be a moon and not a dwarf planet. So can you see that? Isn't knowledge just very volatile, versatile, fluid and changing? But we are standing in one spot. So that's my worry. So when you talk about STEM, I'm very excited about it because I don't look at STEM as subjects. I look at STEM as an attitude. I look at STEM in terms of how do I teach every subject so that I build in all these critical skills into it, so that I build in project-based learning, so that I make learning, you know when you teach and you use everyday life to teach, you are almost a STEM teacher. I hated maths in school, and I'm the daughter of a maths teacher. I hated it because I didn't know what it had to do with me. It sounded so abstract, but my mother handled me. She came and she handled me, and by the time she finished handling me, I had a 3 in maths because I had no choice but to have 3 in maths, so I did not come back to that class. But let me tell you the way my mother taught me. If she was going to teach shapes, my mother had shapes, baby food. You know, a can, when they are teaching you cylinder, you will almost faint. What is a cylinder? But by the time someone brings a can of baby food, that's a cylinder. By the time people are talking about things like parallelogram, you will want to faint. And what is a parallelogram? You know, what is this thing? You know, it's quite frightening. So the way I taught my daughter, on the way to school when she was in primary school, every day, we would use things around us. We call her OY. OY, look at 10 cars. For every 10 cars, count how many taxis. Oh, mommy, 4 out of 10. Percentage? 40%. Fraction? 4 over 10. You know you can't say 4 over 10. So yes, mommy, it's 2 over 5. Decimal? 0.4. Can you draw a graph? Sure. If this is a pie chart representing 100%, then this is 40% or something like that. Then I could even say Roman numerals. I can't remember what that is, but she would get the answer. So I have taught her that maths is life all around us. Sometimes it could be, oh, we have 6 years. You and I need to sew the same dress. Because of your height, you need so yards. Because of my height and my breadth, I'll need so yards. So do the arithmetic. I'll need double, maybe 2 times, 2 point something more than you. How much yardage do each one of us need? So that it all became things around you. So I don't want us to look at STEM as some highfalutin big thing, but to say that how can we bring our subjects, our learning, so that our children really and truly learn, enjoy their learning. Teaching is not entertainment, but the children should enjoy their learning. It should have something to do with their real lives, isn't it? They should be able to understand why you are talking about a rhombus. They should see where rhombus exists in nature. They should understand that when you talk about a cuboid, a cube, they should see where it exists. Look, I recently went to Kano State to observe rural teachers in the classroom. And I came across, to me, one of the best teachers I have ever met. His classroom, there were 100 children. He had no tables and no chairs. So the children sat on the floor. Well, he put them in groups. And he was teaching them literacy. You know, according to national policy, we are supposed to teach children in the local language until they get to primary 3, and this was primary 1. So he was teaching in Hausa, but he was teaching them English. So it was literacy, so they were doing spelling, you know, blending words. I just sat there looking at him. And in his class, he had a little corner. All the empty, he would go to parties, empty bottles, empty cans, empty little cartons, little boxes of Lipton tea and so on. He had them in the corner. And then again, he had a little thing that he called television. He made it from 2 boxes, 2 empty cartons, and the one on top, he had gone to local government for paper. You know, they only type on one side, so the paper they threw out, he was always going to local government to take the unused paper, and he drew all sorts of things behind it to indicate A to Z, and then 1 to 10. So he would stand up and be turning a screw like this, and the figures would be, he called it television circuit for so. Just that my system has run out of power, I would have shown it here, because it was remarkable. And I said, what a teacher. You see that his corner where he had everything. He can teach shapes, he can teach sizes, he can teach colors, he can teach how to manage money, because sometimes they will say it's a shop, come and buy, so he could teach them money and change. Just from that little corner. And nobody gave him anything. He had the same poor resources that everybody had. And when I asked him for anything, do you have paper? He said, sure, I have paper. He'll bring it out. Do you have pencils? Because many of the children didn't have pencils. Their parents couldn't afford it. But he had a pencil for every child. Because if a child's parents could afford it, he would talk to them, help me buy 1 more or 2 more. And he kept all of them. So no child had a pencil that was his or her own. It's time to write, we give every child a pencil. He cut some into 2, so every one of the 100 children had a pencil. For me, he's my teacher of the year. I still think he's the best teacher I've ever seen. I could see immediately that for your teaching, if you make it real life for children, that is, you are already believing in the STEM principles. Because like I said, I don't think STEM is just science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I would always add A because I like art. I would always call it STEM and not STEM. But I think it's an attitude. It's the way you teach, it's the way they learn, it's the fact that you are teaching them a lot of skills. When you tell children to sit down in groups, you might know that guy was teaching them teamwork and collaboration. Yes. He was teaching them to be able to talk in groups, because that was possibly the only class where I saw the children mixed. So I said, why did you mix them? He said, well, because the girls are shy. So, but when they have the boys with them and they are not so, the boys are able to bring them up. They were 5, 6 year olds, so really nothing untoward could have happened by mixing them. And you can see that in that class, so many skills are being taught, and I think that is the essence of a STEM education. So you just escalate it over the years as you go, so that it becomes interesting projects. Like I met a young man some years ago, he actually dropped out of school because, the Pacific Ocean has the greatest amount of debris in the world today. There's a huge part of it I've forgotten. It goes round and round in circles, and most of it are plastics. What do you call it? Sargasso. No, it's not the Sargasso Sea. It's not it's the Pacific. And in the Pacific, there's a huge circle of debris just going round and round, getting bigger and bigger every year as all of us are dumping our refuse, and it eventually gets into the sea. So this young boy, he's about 14, 15, decided that he would find a solution to it. So he's trying to build all sorts of things to be able to capture the paper, the plastic, which is a big one. But even come home here, I remember my daughter came home with a project. The project was on how pure water is actually the impact on the environment. So she had to draw prepare even an advert, a media campaign about it. She had to find out. She went around, and for a square meter along Awolowo Road, she was just taking each square meter, quite a number of pure water sachets there. And she told me, no, mommy, this thing is going to be on the surface of the earth for 800 years. And it's there, it doesn't burn, it doesn't disintegrate, and it's going to be here, it will disintegrate after 800 years. She even took photographs of people drinking from pure water. I think some of them thought they were posing, and so there were lots of this little girl walking up and down. But you see, and from that day, of course, she became an activist. She was in primary school. She became an activist saying, Mommy, we just mustn't use this thing. In this house, in fact, overdoing it a bit, but in this house, we must minimize our use of plastic. So that's how you teach your children, so that right from a very, very young age, they understand the principles, they believe in it, they live in it. And teachers, you will enjoy your class. You are a teacher.
Yes.
You will so enjoy the teaching because it's involving, it's exciting, you are doing projects, and you know they can do it in any way they want. They can do a project and make it and show you by song, by dance, by poetry, so you have blended STEAM, you've made it STEAM. Science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So that's my feeling about the Nigerian curriculum. That make it a bare minimum. Don't you teach it as if that is it. Make it a bare minimum. And then you build on it and do your own thing and teach your children better. Make it more exciting for them so that learning becomes something they really like. They like coming to school.
Exactly.
What is the point of teaching them? My niece, I'm rounding off now. My little niece years ago, she was able to say Nigeria states and capitals. If you ask her, she said, Lagos. For some funny reason, she ended with Sokoto and she used to say it 3 times. And she hasn't started talking, so she went But if you ask her, what's the capital of Kaduna State? Lagos. She really loves to know what she was talking about, isn't it? Yeah, but we've got to teach our children so that they are not crammers and orals. Let me tell you, even if you teach at secondary school, children, I'm a great believer that children pass exams when they are well taught. Yes. I don't stress myself, but I know that we have to give them way more than the ability to pass exams. And that's what STEAM is about. Because that's the future. That's what STEM is about. It's the future. This is where the jobs are going to come from. This is where a living is going to come from. Do you want a Nigerian child to be out of this, to be an illiterate? Because the illiterate of the future is going to be the person who is just not competent in many of these skills. So what as a Nigerian if you can say Lagos Ikeja? Okay, so what? So what? So what? You can count 1 to 1,000, but you cannot add 532 plus 27. So what? If you can count A to Z, but you can't make word cats. Huh? So I hope teachers in the house, thank you for listening.
Before you sit, we have an award to present to you. For your tireless work of education and for the great work you've been doing, inspiring us at the STEM conference on behalf of Charisma for You, we say thank you so much, ma'am, for what you've done.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say, because I'm a bit tired because I went to teach somewhere. So I've been on my feet since morning. So I will leave as soon as I'm done. I wanted to say that I am here because of this remarkable young girl. And the reason why I call her remarkable is that there's something called the power of one person. She's been saying this. Nobody has been supporting her. Do you know that I never knew her? I saw her on Facebook, I think. I contacted her. And we have a common interest. We both are job lovers. Yes. So we tried to get our jobs to like themselves. They did not. But that's another story. That's all right. And we remain friends. But the dogs are enemies, obviously. So it's quite clear that the power of one person can be remarkable. But the power of a group or a team is even greater. So I ask you to buy into this. This is the future. And I hope that she will get more adherents. I'm one of them actually. But you know, people like me, let's be frank, we are gently leaving the scene. There's still a bit of fire in us, but not much anymore. So for those of you who still have a lot of fire in you, I think we should support this. See how we can collaborate, work together, engage, and just ensure that we build these 10 principles of collaboration, of teamwork, of knowledge, of science, of course, of critical thinking, of problem solving into everything that we are doing in our schools. Thank you, Tola.
Thank you so much. She said she had a little bit of fire in her. I think I disagree. I think that's still a lot. On that note, I'd like to call on the last person who will be receiving an award today. She's someone, and I'd like to tie that to the problem-solving aspect that Mrs. Folashade talked about. This person that I'm talking about is a country director for SEED, right? Yes. Now, she had actually told me in camera not to read her profile, and I told her I was going to read her brief version. She said no also. But I'll talk about SEED. Now, SEED is a sort of nexus between the private and the public sector. They work with schools from low-income areas in Lagos, and I think across Nigeria, to bring them up to standard. This is something that is really commendable. So while you're there in your private school, in your post school, feeling all fly, know that there are 1,000,001 people out there who do not have access to the kind of resources, to the kind of finances that you do. And these are the people working to connect them to the quality education that you get. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Olarinwaju Oluwatan.
I know we all have to leave the island, but I'm just going to say a few words. I'm not in education at all. So no, I'm not a child of a teacher. I am not a teacher. I do not own a school. But one key reason I decided to play in the sector is because I realized that children are only children once, and we cannot deprive them of quality education. So while we're waiting for public system to get themselves right, we need to find a solution for our children now, because they are only going to be children one time. And that was what led me into working with a sector that is doing what the government is supposed to be doing. One of the speakers, Mr. Chineye, talked about our low-cost private schools being 12,000, compared to the public schools of 1,500 and 650, thereabout. And these 12,000 schools cater to over 1 million children. And this is not Nigerian figures, actually. They are Lagos figures. Okay? Now, if we say that we want to shut these schools down, based on my work, for every school that is shut down, a minimum of 100 children are let out into the system to do nothing. And we say that we give them different names. We call them mushroom schools. In fact, we make fun of some of them that we on WhatsApp. You see them, Clinton Memorial, Obama, something. These are not jokes. It was until I started working in this sector I realized that they were real schools and they were not jokes for WhatsApp only or for social media. And what do we do with these schools? I'm concerned because growing up, I went to Atlantico, so you know how young I am. I'm the one going to replace mommy when she decides to go and rest. I went to Atlantico, but then I lost my mom, and the scenario changed for me. I had to move to Ibadan, and the only school I could afford to go to was St. Teresa's College. That was the school that Obasanjo went to. Oh, glory! Because the first day I got into school, I went there like Atlantico child with my moccasin and socks and folder, private school child. The first thing, they relayed me to class, collected my folder, my school bag, my everything. I just went into class. The next day, I didn't find my chair and table. Apparently, you were supposed to padlock it. You were supposed to padlock it and put it. I'm telling you the truth. This was, I was in secondary school in 1996. I had to move to St. Teresa's College in 1996. I didn't find my chair and table. I was like, hey, what has happened to me? Me, Atlantic Up King. That was when I realized that if a St. Teresa's was not there, imagine what would have happened. Turn of fate, something happened. I moved from a very big private school to a Catholic school, but if that school was not there, I would not be standing here today. Do you know that? So a lot of my schools don't even know this story because I didn't tell them. They're always asking, why? Why do you like us? Why did you come and decide to work with us. The truth is that it's because of one of those schools that I have complete education today. If I didn't go to one of those schools, I wouldn't be able to stand and say, I want to go to university or I want to, do all of that. In the twist of fate, something like that happened. Now, imagine poor children where public school is not accessible. So it's not just about, it's not affordable. That's one thing, because when they say it's free, it's not free. We will buy chair, we will buy table, we will pay levy, we will do that one. That's one. The other part is it's not accessible. So remember, this side of Lagos was Morocco. Have you? Who can tell me how many public schools are on this axis? Well, even now, how many public schools are here? Lekki, Ajah, all to Epe. How many public schools are there? They are less than 5. Now, where you know that they not say, but rich people live in Lekki. Sorry, do they have gardeners? Do they have drivers? Do they have? Where will these children go to school? Will they walk all the way to Ikoyi to go to public school? No. There are schools that spring up because of the lack of all of these public amenities not being available. And these schools, sincerely, I would say, Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the whole world. That's where we are number 1. That's where we score first. Now, if we say that public school is our entitlement, I agree. We need to fund basic, but now what do we do to the children that are in school? Do we keep waiting for government to get it right? How many of us have seen the master plan of Lagos and seen the budget for education to know whether they still have plans for us? Like the other speaker said, the schools are not being built. So what are we going to do now? There are 12,000 low-cost private schools. Now, what is the definition of low-cost private schools? These are schools that charge a maximum of 50,000 naira a year as school fees, not per annum, not per term, a year. Now, out of these schools, these 12,000 schools, about 7,000 of them charge a maximum of 25,000 naira a year. This is where the poor children are getting an education. Now, if we say they are mushrooms, they are not good, who is helping them to be better? Do we keep condemning them and saying they are not good schools, they are not good schools, they are not good schools? They are the ones educating the children that would compete with our own children, or will be friends with them, or one of your daughters will decide they want to marry. That's the truth. It's true now. So, at the case, I went to Atlantic Hub, my husband went to Gobi College. It's the same thing. That is probably what will happen. So if we say it doesn't concern us now, it will concern us in the future. And that is where I looked at it from and said, how can we support these schools to be better? And what can we do to ensure that we not only support them, we advocate for them, so that they can also create an enabling environment for them to thrive. If we can't do that, we are adding to our, we want to leave number 1 of the number of out-of-school children. But if we're not finding solutions, that's what STEM is about, finding solutions. And if we can't find a solution for them, we are going to add to those numbers. We're not going to reduce those numbers. So I went on a journey, and as of today, we're working with 720 schools in Lagos State. And these schools, my experience with these schools is that they are not dull. The owners, the impression that we have that they are mushrooms, these owners, we have professors that own some of these schools. We have graduates, we have all of that. I have 10 of my schools here. Please, can you stand up? 10. Representative of the school owners that are here. And they are not, you see, one of the key things is that they are the ones educating, please let's keep talking for this. Thank you very much. They are the ones which are the ones helping. Yes. It's not even for me. The reason I got them here is because when they said they want to give them, I said, I'm not the owner of their world. I don't have a school. I don't train children. All I'm doing is to help them to reach the standard that we are complaining that they are not there yet. But nobody is telling them, you say you are mushroom. What is, in fact, one of my facilitators said, mushroom is not very expensive. Don't call them mushroom again. Because if we don't tell them what to do, they wouldn't be able to improve. Everybody keeps pointing the bad hand at them. Nobody tells them this is what you should do. And that is how we are getting. Do you know that it's easier for a tomato seller to get funding than these school owners? If they say they want to improve their school, the first thing the bank will say is, they are not approved. No, it's not approved. They are not approved yet. But the tomato seller will walk in. The person that can carry a basket and disappear from the market will get money before they get money to improve their schools. How easy is it to just pack? There are some of their schools that have up to 500 children, 1,000 children. Will it carry the whole infrastructure and run away? No. But they are not. Please, you can see now, I don't know any punishment. So, but why did I bring them here today? It's also part of exposing them to these opportunities. Because nobody does that for them. And they are handling the children that are in the majority for Lagos State. The same thing is everywhere. At least, there's nowhere I present this that other states are not saying, come. Ogun State has this program of Operation Praise and Shame. They shame the schools that are not doing well. I don't think we should shame. We should support them to improve. And we're talking to them as well. Kaduna has the second largest private school market after Lagos. Over 8,000 private schools. A lot of them too are low cost. This is everywhere. It is not just Lagos. It's just that Lagos is the biggest. So this is our reality in Nigeria. When we say, oh, there's public and private, we don't have public and private. We actually have three. We have public, we have low-cost private, and then we have the private. Because the one in the circle that stands in the middle is a mix of public and private because they are doing the work. Imagine I have a school. I have 3 schools in my 720 that they pay 50 naira per day to enter the school just to get an education. And this school, the truth is, it's not as if they're not teaching them. A lot of these schools, for them to do common entrance, they go to an approved school. And trust me, a lot of these approved schools like them coming because most of their students are the ones that pass through school. If you don't know, that's some of the stories that we have seen. A lot of the students from these schools pass, so these schools actually tell them, come, don't worry, come. They are the ones boosting the results of some of these approved schools. So it's not about just shaming them, it's about supporting them to improve. Finally, bringing it down to STEM. I just want to encourage our schools that as you are here today, STEM is actually for you. Already, you are the one with the constraint of no resources. And I'm happy that Bobby was able to give us the situation of a rural school in Kano. Zero or low-cost resources are the best way to teach children. And you don't even have the luxury anyway. So you can take all this knowledge, put it together, take the children out, let them experience a lot of these things. And they'll be able to imagine what that would do for a child. How many of us here, my favorite story is the story of Malala. Who knows Malala? Who knows that Malala actually wasn't going to public school when she was shot? She was going to a low-cost private school in India, owned by her father, who was the president of an association of 500 low-cost private schools in India. So there is, in Pakistan, sorry. So there is nobody you should overlook. If Malala can be a Nobel Prize winner and she went to a low-cost private school, what can our children do? What can our children do? So please, I encourage you. One of the ways we selected the schools that we worked with was through what we call, we got people, we went online, we told people, do you know a local school in your area? We call this Concerned Citizens Project. We got people to nominate, we had people that say, I know this school, I just see the uniform of the children just going. They are in no small space, but maybe you should work with them. We saw people nominating different schools in their area. They are everywhere, they are around you. There is no part. In fact, by the time we were done, we worked in the 6 education districts of Lagos State. So we're in Lepe, we're in Badagry, we were in Ikorodu. They are everywhere. Every single district, we were able to find them. So there's one close to you and one close to you as well. Look around you, find them. You can support them in any way you can. Even if you're a teacher, you can take your lesson plans and support them. But what I want to leave here today is to tell us that these schools are the ones doing most of the work. We can't leave them hanging. We can't tell them they're not doing their work well. But let us encourage them, help them. Our goal is to move a lot of them to the approval status. We know that they will need some funding to do that. We're already working on that. I'm advocating on that every day. But the truth is, they are the ones educating the future of Lagos at the moment. If you look at, they educate almost private schools educate almost 70% of the Lagos children population. So if they are doing 70%, what are we talking about? Should we leave them alone? So let us support them, and that is why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before you say the award, I think I'll have to give the microphone to Tola, because I'm sure she will want to say a couple of things before presenting this award.
Oh yes, but I have a gazillion things. Don't worry, I know we won't go on forever. Wow, Larry, to even say things about you. Yes, she's your namesake. She's a Larry. To say things about you, I'm almost speechless. But at the same time, I do have a lot that I have to say about you. She says she's not one of us, but she's taking up our cause. And anybody who fights, what do I call them? Gladiators. So she's fighting for us. So that was why, when I was putting together the group of people that I wanted to come to talk to us, and also to give them honor, immediately I said, Larry is doing fantastic work. The statistics, she's even being very nice. If she starts telling some of the statistics, she'll start crying. Because I sat down her program, I'm going to be one of the mentors in the program. And I sat down, and when I left, I was like, yeah. I didn't know how serious it was. And then when I started talking to a professor that's also working on this same issue too, over there in the States, he said, yes, it's even more dire than what she's saying. I said, what? He said, oh, you guys have no idea how bad it is there. Yes, it's really bad. And we just pass them by and say, who cares? Like she said, it affects all of us, whether we like it or not. So please, I need you to please clap for this wonderful work that she's doing. Reaching out to our people in these schools. It is very, very vital work. So today, we're going to be honoring her, calling her a gladiator. Please continue to fight. Continue to fight for us. Thank you. Thank you.
I think you need to, because some of the schools want to take a picture with you. So if you're a school owner, if you're here with her, if you're here for seat, please you can come out and take a picture with her. This award is meant for you guys. I'm also a part of SEED, of managing. Are you a SEED alumni?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. I'm not able to give them the awards, which will be sending to them. I'm sure that we all had quite enlightening experience. I'd like to advise us to please, as I said earlier, go on social media, go online, please share your thoughts, share what you've learned today, and please put the hashtag what? STEM conference, STEM power conference. Please do, let it trend. Let people know that as youths in our country, we have much more than just CC or Toby or Miracle, and we can do so much more. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. It's been a wonderful experience. So we'll meet again. My name is Larry Yusuf, and thank you for an awesome experience.
everybody not win yet? We have the souvenirs that we're going to be giving to you. My mom, that's what she went downstairs to get. So please, if you please give her time. They are going to come and call her to come. They will bring the souvenirs. It will not be fair that you come all the way and you don't go back with the souvenirs. So please, you wait for her souvenirs and you also let's honor her too. Please. I'm apologizing, please. So let's take pictures now. Nobody makes
I'm not seeing. My name is Olariwa Joni. I'm the CEO of Holistic Business Solutions and the Project Director for Sustainable Education and Enterprise Development, known as SEED. SEED works with private schools that serve children from low-income families. We came across Charisma for You Foundation when we met the director, Ms. Tola Salah. Charisma for You Foundation has been a great partner to us because they are one of our partners for our mentorship program for our schools. It's also important to us because we know that these schools that we work with, they don't have a lot of resources. And we know that they need STEM education, which Charisma for You Foundation can provide. So we are in partnership with Charisma for You Foundation to be able to take STEM education to the schools that we work with. We're happy to work with them. They're a great team to work with, and we believe that with what they're doing, we're going to take 21st century education to children from low-income families who would otherwise not have access to this type of education. Because they make up most of the population of our country, Nigeria, we believe that taking this education to them where they are is very critical. And Charisma for You Foundation, we believe, is a trusted partner for us to take that STEM education to where we want it. Today, Charisma for You Foundation honored us with the Educational Gladiator Award for what we do currently with our low-cost private schools. We would like to say a big thank you because all our schools are very excited to be able to be recognized. Usually they are never recognized. This award is not for me, but rather for the local schools that we support. We would like to say a big thank you for Charisma for You Foundation for this opportunity, and we would like to say God bless them and more of this, because this is one of the things that would help to improve our economy. Education is critical to our economy, and we're happy that you're investing in our local private schools. Thank you.
My name is Fola Shade Adefisayo. I'm Principal Consultant, Living Learning Limited. Okay, can you tell us the significance of today's event? It's a very important day because STEM, that is the incorporation of the STEM subjects in any curriculum, is the future. That's how we are going to be able to build a great economic and technological base for Nigeria going forward. Okay, while you were doing your presentation, you spoke about adding an A to the STEM to become STEAM, and looking at attitude and other things. Arts. Okay, arts. Looking at the arts. So, can you throw more light on that? Because basically now the focus is on STEM because of technology. Since technology is advancing.
No, art is, you can't design, like, art is the design part of it. There is no way you can have a solution without being somebody who is creative and who looks at the art side of it. If you are designing a solution, for example, like Apple, you know how they designed the laptop so that it's so unusual and so nice. That's design, that's art, that's the A in it. So it's not art as in just being artistic, but art as in using it in a STEM context.
Okay, you being an advocate, what's your take in the government and what do you think the government should do for us to push this STEM to the next level?
I hope you don't show this. I'm not interested because look, it's going to take on its own momentum and they'll have no choice. Because as it is, that's where the jobs are. When children finish from school, that's where they're going to get jobs. So
So that's the future. So a lot of children are moving away from traditional subjects and going into the STEM subjects because that's where they know they are going to make a living. So if government doesn't hurry up and get involved, people will just form their own. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'm very grateful. I never expected an award. I didn't come here because of the award. I came here to support Tola because I believe in what she's doing. So I'm utterly grateful that she taught me what they have to give me an award. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you for your patience. You know, we started since morning and it's past 5 and we're still going and still laughing. May God bless everybody. Thank you very much for your endurance and patience.
Okay, Ma, can you tell us your view concerning today's program?
Well, to God be the glory. But one of the choruses that we sing, we say this is the day that the Lord has made, and the glad and the glad in it. So that is how I feel, that certainly it is the Almighty God that gave us a good weather. It rained yesterday, it rained the day before yesterday, but today the weather is very good, the traffic is good, and beyond our expectation, the crowd is marvelous and very cheerful because we didn't give them, we didn't entertain much, and yet people are still jubilant. Thank you very much. Thank the Almighty for making it possible and successful. It was very successful. That is, apart from STEM power, that is human power. The power of what human beings can do.
Okay, Ma, while we were giving the address, we spoke about building interest in STEM subjects for children. I know that a lot of children, like you mentioned your data, have issues with maths, but we are able to merge that with computer. So what's your advice to teachers and equally parents?
Yeah, I also mentioned multiple intelligence. Multiple intelligences. There are 8 of them. Howard Gardner of Howard College of Education, Harvard, propounded this theory that there are 8 to 9 intelligences that children have. Some of them is logical, those who are very logical, and they are also mathematical. There are children that do have interpersonal relationships. They get along with people. There are some children that are introverts. They do not get along with the other children very well. But everything they want to say is in their mind. They are very good with their hands. Some of them are, endowed with an intelligence which is called kinesthetics. Kinesthetics are the athletes you see now, athletes and dancers and everything. Their time is here now. People are now beginning to appreciate them. They dance, dancing is very easy for them. They jump, they run. These are some of the intelligences. Before, we used to discourage our children. Oh, I want you to be rich. I want you to be a medical doctor. I want you to be a lawyer. Every intelligence is very important. All we have to do is encourage them to do what they like. However, the reason why we are stressing multiple intelligence, we have seen actors and actresses who make so much money because they are not interested in the mathematics and accounting and things. They make the money and other people spend it and want to go back to it. Therefore, we are encouraging children, in spite of what you excel at, whatever you are very good at, so that you'll be able to focus on your fun, so that you'll be able to come out in public and talk. Some people are so shy, they become petrified when you want them to get up and talk. You have to encourage children to know how to utilize other intelligence. That's why the stress that you become an hour long, don't just focus that I'm good at this, and that's what I'm going to be focused on. You have to do all of that things to make sure that you don't make too much money, and when the money is no money, because you are not interested in that. And so thank you very much. You will recall that when I was presenting my address, I mentioned that my daughter used to be afraid of mathematics. And I told her, no, you cannot be afraid of mathematics. So, because people are saying so. That, the reason why many children are afraid of certain subjects, it's because of teachers who do not encourage them. But now, one-to-one, and I will teach you, and I will make it interesting to you, and you will see that very soon you will get to like it. So, during that time, at our backyard, I'll be tracking the Palestinian, and I'll be giving it, and I'll be teaching it. So, that is called, in psychology, it is called positive reinforcement. So, as we are learning, something she's afraid of, because I was reinforcing her positive, not with a pain, which is not where we go wrong. When the child is not moving, the pain is there. The child focus is on the pain. But that time, at our backyard, we didn't have it. But any subject maths that I do with, so more what I'm saying at that time, what I was going on, I'm not only a mother, I can send out to 11, and the process getting much knowledge. Secondly, when she comes home with hunger, the exercise she got the homework, if they ask them to do fast, and if there are 30 exercises to do, 30 I will make sure that you gradually she may not finish and be happy, but I'll make sure that she finishes the exercise. So if she's able to finish the exercise, I don't know where the teacher will get the test or exam for. This is the start of the exercise, because every exercise I make sure to finish it. So after a while, the man started challenging to come. Give me anyone. So these are some of the things mothers can do. Come back to children, use what you have to encourage them to learn the difficulties. And after that, they will begin to enjoy it. These are some of the tips that can give yourself.
families and the turnout of people that came for us to talk, listen to us talk about STEM education was fantastic. I'm happy that the response is very positive, and then also these are our, how would I put them, people who we look up to, that they came and they encouraged us by coming to talk to us about how important STEM education to our children was. So it was wonderful. But beyond that, the greatest surprise and joy was the professor and the other lady from Silicon Valley that came earlier and supported us. So yes, it was very successful, and I'm glad that we were able to do this. For our first one, this was fantastic. What is STEM? STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. How you go about teaching it when they're all infused. That's what STEM is.
Okay, you know, we have children that basically, like you said, you were editing. The way some of the teachers, you know, they call you names and like that, and you are trying to advocate the way this subject has been taught in school.
Yes.
So, going forward, what are you propagating?
Propagating that we change the way the teachers go about teaching these children. Instead of just teaching them memorization and cramming, and also, like you said, shaming them and not making them happy about it. We want them to be excited about it. We want them to be engaged about it. We want them to understand that they're solving problems when they're using mathematics and science. And we want to change how we go about it.
Yes, like you said, you are going to
be a boot camp, yes, for the children.
We know we have a lot of rural children, like you spoke about, low-income children. So how do you think that those children can, what are the best measures that you want to use to reach out to these children?
The best way we can reach out to those children is by having free outreach. And the only way we can do that is by getting support of the government. We make to sponsor things that we can use for the children, sponsor logistics, so that we can reach out to these children. Have also boot camps that are free for them. Even if it's just a couple of days for a week working with them. That little by little will change how these children go about science and mathematics. Make a difference for them.
Okay, can you tell us about the economic value? We were talking about something on having what's it called?
Future readiness, yes. Yes. Okay, so future readiness is using STEM skills to boost what they are going to do for themselves in the future. Whether they decide that they want to create their own business or they want to work in jobs with other people. But the point is that with these skills, they will be very, very highly valuable. Everybody will want them because wow, these people are people that can solve problems and people who can think, they are creative. So yes, it will make them very future ready. That's the economic value of STEM.
What's your take? And then what are you telling them?
I'm telling them that let's do this again next year. Let's keep on reaching out to government. Let's keep reaching out to our parents. Let's keep reaching out to administrators. Let's make a difference in how we go about science and mathematics education. That's STEM. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education in Nigeria. Thank you.